اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان ہوتے۔ اگر دکھاتے نہ اہل شریعت، جبینوں میں سجدے تڑپتے ہی رہتے۔ اگر دکھاتے نہ اہل شریعت، جبینوں میں سجدے تڑپتے ہی رہتے۔ کسی کو بھی توفیق توبہ نہ ہوتی، کسی کی بھی بخشش کے سامان ہوتے۔ کسی کو بھی توفیق توبہ نہ ہوتی، کسی کی بھی بخشش کے سامان ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان ہوتے۔ یہی وارثان نبی ہے جنہوں نے دکھایا ہی دنیا کو نور ہدایت۔ یہی وارثان نبی ہے جنہوں نے دکھایا ہے دنیا کو نور ہدایت۔ مگر نہ یہاں اندھیرا ہی ہوتا، زمین پر کہیں اہل ایمان ہوتے۔ مگر نہ یہاں اندھیرا ہی ہوتا، زمین پر کہیں اہل ایمان ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان ہوتے۔ اگر نہ جلاتے یہ اہل مدارس، دلوں جا کرو گن شب تیرگی میں۔ اگر نہ جلاتے یہ اہل مدارس، دلوں جا کرو گن شب تیرگی میں۔ رہے زندگی کے یہ مشکل مراحل، کبھی ابن آدم پہ آسان ہوتے۔ رہے زندگی کے یہ مشکل مراحل، کبھی ابن آدم پہ آسان ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان ہوتے۔ اگر اہل ذکر و تصوف نہ ہوتے کبھی بھی خدا کا تعارف نہ ہوتا۔ اگر اہل ذکر و تصوف نہ ہوتے کبھی بھی خدا کا تعارف نہ ہوتا، تو حسن ازل کے نہ اسرار کھلتے، کہیں اہل دل اہل عرفان ہوتے۔ تو حسن ازل کے نہ اسرار کھلتے، کہیں اہل دل اہل عرفان ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان نہ ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان نہ ہوتے۔ اگر یہ مساجد مدارس نہ ہوتے کہیں بھی جہاں میں مسلمان نہ ہوتے، بصورت بشر سب درندے ہی ہوتے، کسی بھی جگہ اچھے انسان نہ ہوتے۔
السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔ نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم، أما بعد، فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي، سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم، اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما، إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما، اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وأزواجه وذرياته۔ اللہ سبحانہ وتعالی has made our success in following His commands. If we carry out those things that makes Allah happy, and if we abstain from those things that makes Allah unhappy, we will become successful. And if we do not do those things that make Allah happy, and if we do not abstain from those things that makes Allah unhappy, then we will remain unsuccessful. This is part of our faith. Success does not lie in accumulating wealth. Success does not lie in owning homes. Success does not lie in establishing a factory, opening a shop. Success does not lie in becoming a councillor or a MP or even a PM. All these things come and go in our lives. All these things are possible and impossible in our lives. One of us may become a councillor, one of us may become a member of parliament, one of us may become very wealthy, a few of us may become very wealthy, a few of us may become very famous. But these are not elements of success. There is only one element of success, and that is doing those things that bring the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and abstaining from those things that bring the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in order for us to know what makes Allah happy, what makes Allah unhappy, we have to acquire ilm. So success is acquired by doing those things which makes Allah happy and abstaining from those things which make Allah unhappy. And we will only be able to do those things which make Allah happy and abstain from those things which make Allah unhappy if we know what makes Allah happy and what makes Allah unhappy. To know what Allah makes happy and what Allah makes unhappy is known as ilm. So we come to the madrasa for ilm. That means we come to the madrasa to know what Allah likes and what Allah dislikes. So it is very easy to understand how important ilm is. Without ilm, a person will not know what Allah likes. Without ilm, a person will not know what Allah dislikes. And if you don't know what Allah likes and if you don't know what Allah dislikes, how will you be able to do those things which Allah likes? And how will you be able to abstain from those things which Allah dislikes? So we come to the madrasa to acquire ilm. And what is ilm? To know what Allah likes and to know what Allah dislikes. But just knowing what Allah likes and just knowing what Allah dislikes is not sufficient. Because Allah will not become happy by we just knowing what Allah likes and what Allah dislikes. Allah will become happy by we doing what Allah likes and abstaining from what Allah dislikes. So we have to very carefully understand the different stations of ilm or different stages of ilm. The first stage of ilm is intention. We make intention. We make intention that I want to enroll into this madrasa. We make intention that daily I will go to the madrasa at 5 o'clock and I will remain in the madrasa until 7 o'clock. We make intention that I am going to the madrasa to learn what Allah likes and to learn what Allah dislikes. And I am doing this only to please Allah. This is the first stage of ilm. And niyyah, intention. We make intention that I want to enroll into a madrasa. I want to go to the madrasa and I want to learn what Allah likes. I want to learn what Allah dislikes, and then I want to do what Allah likes, I want to stay away from what Allah dislikes, and I want to do all this only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. MashaAllah, you are already enrolled at Madrasa Riyazul Quran. Maybe you are unable to make this comprehensive intention. So make this intention today, that I am attending Madrasa Riyazul Quran to learn what Allah likes and to learn what Allah dislikes. And thereafter, I will do what Allah likes, I will stay away from what Allah dislikes so that Allah can become happy with me. All of you make this intention now in your heart and mind. This is the first stage of ilm. The second stage of ilm is to make sure that you present yourself into the madrasa daily. Without valid excuse, you should never stay absent. Make sure you attend madrasa daily. And make sure you attend madrasa on time. And make sure you do not leave madrasa before time. This is the second stage of ilm. If you want to become successful, this is the second stage of ilm. You must attend madrasa daily. You must go to the madrasa on time, before time, and you must not leave the madrasa before time. So if madrasa begins at 5 o'clock, make sure you are in the classroom at 5 to 5. And if madrasa ends at 7, then make sure you do not leave the madrasa before 7 p.m. No excuses. I am unwell today. I am experiencing a headache. Can I leave madrasa 15 minutes early? Because my parents are traveling to London today and we are leaving at 7 o'clock. I have homework to do. I have this to do. I have that to do. You must adjust your timetable in such a way that from 5 until 7 or from 5 until 7:30, you are nowhere but in the madrasa. This is the second stage of ilm. And in this second stage of ilm, your body should be in the madrasa and your heart and mind should also be in the madrasa. Your intention is clear. So the first stage of ilm is a tick. And every day you go to the madrasa before 5 and you leave only after 7. You leave only after 7:30. So you are attending the madrasa as well. But is it a tick? No, it will not be a tick until you remain in the madrasa for the full duration with not only the body, but with the heart and mind also. Your body is there, but your heart and mind is in China. You're thinking about something in China. For example, Olympics is taking place in China and you're thinking about Olympics. So your body is in the class, but your mind is not. So which is important? The body being in the class or the mind being in the class? The mind being in the class. Mind is more important. The body has to be in the madrasa because without the body, the mind cannot concentrate on what the teacher is going to say. Mind. The mind should not wander off in a football match. This cup, that cup. The mind should not wander off in other activities. This is stage number 2. We have to be in the madrasa daily. We reach the madrasa before time. We leave the madrasa only after time. And we remain in the madrasa with heart and mind. Number 2. Stage number 3. We remain silent in the madrasa. Silent. When somebody else is speaking, we remain silent. We only speak when we are expected to speak by the ustad. So if the teacher is saying something, we remain silent. If another student is reading his lesson, we remain silent. And if the teacher is not teaching, he is giving us opportunity to go through our lesson for a while, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then we remain silent and we do the work that the teacher is expecting from us. Silent. We remain silent. We do not talk without necessity. Zaid is on my right and Bakr is on my left. I'm whispering to Zaid, I'm whispering to Bakr. No. Silent. We don't talk without necessity with neither the tongue nor with our gestures. Sometimes you may remain quiet, but we are gesturing to somebody. That is also speaking. That is also talking. Whether the teacher is looking at us or not, we remain silent because we know that Allah is looking at us. This is the third stage of ilm. The fourth stage of ilm is we listen very carefully to the lesson that is being imparted. Or we listen very carefully to what our fellow classmate has to say. So all of us are reciting our sabak. All of us are reciting our sabak. The first student is reciting his sabak, second is reciting his sabak, third, fourth, fifth, and you are the 24th student in the class, so you are daydreaming while they are all reciting. No, even if you know your lesson, you must listen very carefully to every student. Why? Because your lesson will become very strong in your heart and mind. You will never forget the lesson. Listen to everybody. So when the teacher is speaking, you listen to the teacher very carefully. If the other students are reading their sabak or they are asked something by the teacher, you listen to them carefully. This is stage 4. And stage number 5, you understand what you are hearing. Listen and understand. So remain silent, listen carefully and understand. You must focus 100% on what the teacher has to say. You must try to understand each and every sentence of what the teacher is telling us. When the lesson is over, you should be confident in your heart that Alhamdulillah, I have understood the lesson 100%. And if there is any deficiency for whatever reason, then you must try to ask your friends after the class and ask them that I have not understood this part of the lesson. Can you please explain to me? Or if there is an opportunity, you may ask your teacher also. Stage number 4 is understand. Stage number 6. Stage number 6 now is to memorize and remember what you have understood. Because if you don't memorize, if you don't remember, you will not be able to practice. You have to wash your hands up to your wrist when making wudu, and then gargle the mouth, clean the nose, wash the face. Your intention was pure, you attended the class, you remained silent, you listened very carefully, you understood everything, but you did not memorize it. So if after 3 months somebody was to ask you that how do you perform wuzu, you will not know. Because you did not memorize it. Why is it possible for you to perform wuzu? Why is it possible to perform 2 rakat? If I was to tell any one of you that please perform 2 rakat and show me how to perform salat, you would perform it because you have memorized it. It's in your mind. So we will perform salat. But because the sunnats of salat we have not memorized, so our salat will not be in accordance with the sunnah. If we do not memorize what we learn, if we don't remember, we will not be able to practice. So after understanding, stage 6 is that we memorize, we remember. And then stage 7 is what we have understood, what we have learned, what we have memorized, what we have learned, we practice. We practice. Whatever we learn, we practice. Whatever we learn, we practice. Imam Muhammad, rahimahullah ta'ala, the great faqih, he was young like you. He had not reached the age of puberty when he started coming into the majlis of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. He was not baligh. And he must have been very, very intelligent, because to attend the majlis of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, the dars was of a very high level. So one day, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi mentioned a mas'ala. What did Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi say? He said that, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Please pay attention so that you are able to understand. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said that if a person performs Isha Salat whilst he has not reached the age of puberty, he is not baligh, and he performed Isha Salat, and thereafter he goes to sleep, and he becomes baligh, he experiences a wet dream, So he becomes baligh. So when he becomes baligh at say 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., the time for Isha Salat ends at 5 a.m. in the morning. So he is becoming baligh at Isha time, during Isha time. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said that if he becomes baligh during the night, then he will have to repeat his Isha Salat again. Why? He has already performed his Isha Salat. The reason for that is, when he performed Isha Salat was not fard upon him. So he carried out an optional deed. Now when he has become baligh, Isha has become fard now. So now he will have to repeat the Isha Salat. And there was a large gathering of students sitting in front of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. And everybody was attentive, like all of you are, mashallah. Nobody used to leave the majlis whilst the dars used to take place. So if a person got up from his place and he left the masjid, it would be visible immediately, noticeable immediately. So Imam Muhammad rahmatullahi alayhi got up from his place and he left the gathering. And he returned after 10-15 minutes. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, after completing the dars, said, Muhammad, come here. Why did you leave my lesson today for a few minutes? So he said, my dear respected teacher, the mas'ala that you mentioned, today regarding the Isha Salat, that happened with me last night. When I performed Isha Salat, I was not baligh. I went to sleep, I became baligh. And my eyes did open. But I thought I have already performed Isha Salat. So I did not perform Isha Salat. And when I learned during the lesson that I still have to perform Isha Salat, my habit in life is that whenever I learn something, I practice straight away. And this was a matter of fard. So I could not delay until the end of the dars. What if I had passed away? So I left the gathering and I performed my Isha Salat and then I returned. This is what those people do who are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should also strive so that you can become the chosen people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever you learn, practice. And when you fail, make istighfar, make tawbah, ask Allah's forgiveness, and ask Allah to help you to be able to practice what you learn. What did Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi say to Imam Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi? He said to Imam Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi, continue coming to my dars, because a time is going to come when you will become a great man. And Imam Muhammad rahmatullahi alayhi did become a great man. He did become a very great man. So the 7 stages, what we hear and listen attentively, what we understand and what we memorize and remember, we practice. And stage number 8 is we pass on. We teach others. According to their level of understanding. When we give something to eat to our siblings, so if we are 13 years old, 14 years old, and we have a sibling who is 10 years old, then we will buy a chocolate for ourselves and we will buy a chocolate for our 10-year-old sibling also, because that 10-year-old has the capacity to eat that chocolate. But if we have a sibling who is only 6 months old, we will not buy a chocolate for that sibling, because that sibling will not be able to digest the chocolate. So when you go home, You look at your parents, they will be able to digest everything. You look at your brothers and sisters, what they will be able to digest, and accordingly you teach them also. When we teach other people and they practice, then we get the same reward. So these are the stages of ilm. Number 1, niyyah, intention. Number 2, attendance. Number 3, remaining silent. Number 4, listening very carefully to the lesson. Number 5, understanding. Number 6, memorizing and remembering. Number 7, practicing. And number 8, propagating. There is a very big benefit of propagating. If we propagate, so many benefits, if we propagate, we will not forget. Because we keep talking about it. If we learn that there are 4 faraid of wuzu, and thereafter we don't make wuzu, and we don't talk about it, we will forget. But if we keep telling people that there are 4 faraid of wuzu, there are 4 faraid of wuzu, so propagating, while the benefit of propagating is that we remember, we don't forget. Benefit of propagating is that those people to whom we are passing on the knowledge, if they practice, we will get the reward. So if I practice upon something 5 times, and the person I have passed on to, he practices 5 times, I will get reward of 10 amal. And if that person who I have passed on the message to, if he passes on to another 5 people, and they practice upon those 5 things, I will get reward of 25 amal. And it just multiplies and multiplies. And another benefit of propagating is that when you propagate, then you feel embarrassed. That I am telling other people to do those things that I am not practicing. So as a result of propagating, that thing will come in our lives also. We will begin to practice also. So this is what we expect from the students of Madrasa Riyadul Quran. That they embed in their hearts and minds the 8 stages of ilm. Those people who will cross these 8 stages of ilm, the 9th stage is Jannah. Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman, sahalallahu bihi tariqan ilal Jannah. One who passes through these 8 stages of ilm, the 9th stage will be inshallah in Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq. May Allah accept all your efforts, and may Allah accept the efforts of all the teachers, and may Allah accept the efforts of the parents also, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return you with safety to Madrasa Riyazul Quran again after your holidays, and may that new year be a good start for these 8 stages of ilm, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you all and all of us worthy of Jannah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you all sadaqah jariyah for all of us. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وشفاء من كل داء. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللہ اپنے فضل سے اپنے کرم سے آپ کے ان نوجوان اور چھوٹے بڑے بچوں نے، اللہ نوجوان نے جو علم حاصل کیا ہے ریاض القرآن کے ماتحت، اللہ ان کے علم میں برکت عطا فرما، اللہ ان کو اور زیادہ مزید پڑھنے کی توفیق عطا فرما، عالم با عمل بننے کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ یا اللہ جو ریاض القرآن اور جو ادارے چل رہے ہیں، اللہ ان میں ترقی نصیب فرما، اخلاص کے ساتھ پڑھنے پڑھانے کی توفیق عطا فرما، اساتذہ کرام طلباء کرام کی محنتوں کو قبول فرما۔ حضرت والا دعوت برکات ہم کی اللہ صحت عافیت کے ساتھ عمر میں برکت عطا فرما، حضرت والا کے فیوض سے مستفید فرما، صحت اور عافیت نصیب فرما، اور جو مسلمان بھائی بہن جہاں کہیں بیمار ہے اللہ شفا کاملہ عاجلہ عطا فرما، جو مسلمان بھائی بہن انتقال کر کے تمام کی مغفرت فرما۔ یا اللہ اس انعامات کو حوصلہ افزائی کے لیے ان بچوں کو دیا ہے، اللہ ان کے حق میں اس انعامات کو قبول فرما، اور یا اللہ علم پر عمل کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ حضرت والا دامت برکاتہم نے نصیحت فرماتے ہوئے جو 8 باتیں ارشاد فرمائی ہے اس پر یا اللہ ہم سب کو عمل کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ اللہ اس ادارے کو اللہ نظر بد سے حفاظت فرما، حاسدین کے حسد سے حفاظت فرما، شریروں کی شرارت سے حفاظت فرما، ادارے کی اللہ تمام ضروریات کو اپنے غیب کے خزانے سے پوری فرما۔ یا اللہ یہ ادارے جب تک ہے دنیا کے اندر خیر و برکت باقی رہتی ہے، ہمارے حضرت نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کا لایا ہوا پہنچایا ہوا علم یہاں سے اللہ پھیلایا جا رہا ہے، پہنچایا جا رہا ہے، عمل کیا جا رہا ہے، اللہ اس کو قبول فرما دے، اور ہماری طرف سے حضرت نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کو اور صحابہ کرام رضی اللہ اجمعین کو اور جو درمیان میں واسطے بنے ہم تک اس مبارک علم کے پہنچانے میں تمام کو ہماری طرف سے بہترین بدلہ عطا فرما، اور نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے اس لائے ہوئے مبارک دین و دین کے علم پر ہمیں عمل کی توفیق عطا فرما، اور یا اللہ ہمیں نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی محبت اتباع سنت کی توفیق عطا فرما، اور یا اللہ ہمیں وہاں حرمین شریفین کی اللہ آداب کے ساتھ ایمان کی سلامتی کے ساتھ اعضاء کی سلامتی کے ساتھ حاضری نصیب فرما۔ ہمارے اکابرین ہمارے مشائخ ہمارے علماء کرام نے جو قربانیاں کی ہے اس علم کے پہنچانے میں اللہ ہم تمام کو ہماری طرف سے بہترین بدلہ عطا فرما۔ یا اللہ یہ جو خدمت ہو رہی ہے اللہ اس کا اپنے بارگاہ میں قبول فرما، ہمیں اس سے فائدہ اٹھانے کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ ہمارے نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے جتنی خیر کی دعائیں بھلائی کی دعائیں مانگی ہے سب خیر و بھلائی ہم سب کو نصیب فرما۔ نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے جن شرور و فتنوں سے پناہ چاہیے تمام شرور و فتن سے ہماری امت مسلمہ کی پوری اللہ حفاظت فرما۔ یا اللہ اس ملک کے اندر جو حالات ہے اس کو درست فرما، جہاں جہاں بارش کی ضرورت ہے اللہ اپنے فضل سے اپنے کرم سے رحمت بنا کر بارش کو نازل فرما، اور اللہ ہمارے گناہوں کی وجہ سے جو حالات ہے ہم اپنے گناہوں پر توبہ کرتے ہیں ہماری توبہ کو قبول فرما۔ یا اللہ امن اور سکون کے یا اللہ اس ملک کے اندر ہر جگہ امن سکون کے فیصلے فرما۔ یا اللہ جو حالات ہے اس کو درست فرما، ہماری کوتاہی کمزوریوں کو صغیرہ کبیرہ تمام گناہوں کو معاف فرما دیجیے۔ اللہ اپنے فضل سے اپنے کرم سے نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم صدقے تو فعل میں دعاؤں کو قبول فرما۔ آمین و صلی اللہ تعالی برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین۔